Welcome to another episode of From My Mother's Basement, show that we basically celebrate being a geek. I'm Jason.
And I am Michael. And today it is from Michael's basement, again, because Jason came out to visit.
Hey!
So, there we are. Hey,
Yes.
It even lines up this time.
Awesome. As opposed to the first time when it was swapped.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. So, we are back. We are here for the new show. And we're here to talk about a bunch of interesting stuff. And some scary stuff, as I recall.
Yes, I will say that. But should we start about the weekend, or should we just kick right into the news? Because there's a ton of it this time around. I say we just get into it.
Yeah, just get into
Just
it.
jump into it. Let's start off with the seems to be the topic on every geek's mind over the past month: Star Wars. Disney, ever since they made the acquisition of Lucasfilm, and of course all of its subsidiaries, it's always been speculated what's going to happen with the movies themselves. We already know they're going to make new ones. They're going to make episodes 7, 8, 9. There was a ton of rumors about who's going to direct it, who's going to star in it, what are they about, and are there other movies that are going to be made aside from the new trilogy?
In other words, how far can they rape this property?
You know they're going to.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about it a couple weeks ago that we had a rumor that Zack Snyder was going to create a standalone Star Wars film loosely based on the Seven Samurai classic film. Well, of course, they went out and actively denied it. What, we're only working on these 3, 7, 8, 9 movies. It's going to be J.J. Abrams. We have other people set up for those movies, and that's it. No, they decided to come out and say, you know what? What we said before about just being those 3 movies, not only are they going to make the new trilogy, they're also going to create standalone movies. So that Zack Snyder Samurai 7 Star Wars film might actually happen. Could be cool. I mean, but at this, go for it. You go for it.
Zack Snyder could be interesting because isn't he? I just for the Empire is what's coming to mind.
Well, I mean,
I'm expecting 300 in the Star Wars world.
Which is funny you mentioned that because he's currently working on the sequel to 300. So, which means more slow motion zooms,
more ridiculously ripped actors. Man, I finally got to see that movie. Oh my God.
Beefcake.
Yeah. It's testosterone ridden for sure. But I enjoyed it.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
The CEO of Disney, Bob Iger, on a press conference, stated that some of the possible main characters for these standalone films could be Han Solo, a young Han Solo before Episode 4.
Which is interesting because there was a pitch by Lucas printed back in 83, 84 in Starlog, where he talked about one of the stories would have been when Han was young and how he and Chewie met and how Chewie ended up life debted to him.
Oof. But most likely the first movie that we're going to see as a standalone film is the origin story of Yoda. Which means 100% CG.
Which also means a whole planet full of little spider monkey guys. Jumping around doing their stuff.
Join us as you see Yoda hitting on a girl, going through puberty, learning of the Force in very wrong ways.
Horny I am. Yes. Jello shots I want.
Join us. Yoda in college. Hey,
God.
Hey Yoda, you're a really cool guy. You should try this peyote.
Bogart the joint, you should not. Can you imagine a little stoner Yoda? Oh man.
Oh,
smoke a fat blunt we did. Okay, back to reality.
Oh, we're gonna go. We could go.
I need to stop.
So
yeah, this
crazy
is gonna get so bad.
We have no idea any more details beyond the possibilities of Yoda and a Han Solo standalone movie. Frank Oz has already been reached out for comment. He stated
he'll do the voice.
Yeah, he didn't find out until the announcement, but he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Cool.
So at least you have that aspect still, going on. But again, we have all the the speculation going on, and the first movie isn't scheduled for release until 2015. No idea what's going to happen. There's already rumors of a renovation of Tomorrowland theme parks and all the Disney parks to be more Star Wars centric.
They're doing it.
Really? Completely?
Not complete.
I was going to say.
Because Innoventions in California is going to be converted to tie into Iron Man 3.
That's going to be so weird seeing a Marvel franchise in...
Think about it in the Stark Fair, though.
Having Stark Tech at Disneyland would be awesome.
Stark Industries there would make sense.
Yeah.
So that would kind of tie in with the whole Iron Man 3 franchise.
As long as they find some way to integrate Asimo. If they're kicking his ass out or something like that, or...
Well, see, they don't own the Asimo.
Well, true, yeah.
It's gonna. I mean, when they shut down Innoventions, it's going to go back to Honda.
But the reason why I bring that up right now is the sole fact that the only main attraction Innoventions has right now is Asimo.
Yeah, now that they shut down Tom.
Yeah, so... Oh, well. Hey, we already got our Disney tie-in at the beginning of this episode.
Why, yes, we do. and there's if we go to the Dota news,
okay,
we can have our official HeroClix statement.
Yeah, we'll jump that in there real quick. Surprisingly, we didn't actually play any HeroClix this week,
but we didn't play them.
Got some, yes. I was looking through some news for this week and found that there's a partnership between video game maker Valve, Team Fortress 2 and whatnot, with WizKids, the people who create HeroClix. On the Team Fortress 2 side, they've already created several figures, both in red and blue, so whatever team you want, you actually can get most of the characters right now. I believe the Heavy isn't out yet. I might pick up a Heavy when it comes out.
Is the Flamer out?
The Pyro, yeah. He just came out. Same with the Demo Man. I think the Spy's out.
Nice.
I'm waiting for the Sniper. But as far as another franchise that Valve has created, or is working on, Dota 2, they didn't make the first one. They just bought the rights and started making the second one. They're going to create HeroClix figures out of Dota 2 characters, which at one point when I first read them, like, how does that tie in? I mean, Dota characters and HeroClix, which could have everything from Aliens vs. Predator to Batman to Thor to... Oh, he's going to bust this out.
Halo?
I didn't see you buy those.
No, I bought these a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
He had 3 Halo packs in, so I grabbed them.
Damn it.
And I got a Master Chief.
Nice.
But no Chupa thingy.
Aw.
But anyway, yeah, no, it's... Well, what's interesting is if they do that, it's only a small step because... And I hope you're listening, Blizzard. Not that I am so egocentric to think you watch us. But if you are, jump in on it. Because Blizzard made a click game that kind of went...
They also have
but the figures were nice.
They still have the card... They have the WoW card game still going on.
Yeah, there's the TCG. But if they did... I'm trying to look around. Apparently they're in storage. I used to have the WoW Click set. But if they could tie in with WizKid... do the WoW characters in HeroClix, partnership it.
I can see that.
They could do it, and Blizzard's already got the sculpts prepped, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Dota's based on Warcraft 3.
True.
So
and the rumors right now...
And Blizzard's doing Blizzard Dota.
Yes. There was a website that Blizzard created... I forget the URL for it. A lot of people are wondering, is this for some new franchise?
For Titan?
They thought it was for Titan, yeah, but it's not. It's somebody cracked it, i.e. this is the start of another ARG or alternate reality game. It's to deal with some new campaign for the StarCraft 2 expansion.
Oh, for
Heart of the Swarm.
Heart of the Swarm? Oh, I can't wait till that comes out.
So, we'll see what happens. All right, shall we go a bit old school on this next one?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
I mean, it's
I am so mixed on this, but...
It's old school to the point where I remember watching reruns of this when I was young.
While I am an old man, I am not old enough for these to have been new when I was alive. But some of their successors I was.
Okay. Well, what we're talking about is an old school TV series from the 60s, very beloved TV series starring a bunch of puppets. Remember Thunderbirds? You have to change this one.
Oh crap! I gotta go fix something. Anyways, continue.
So, I mean, this was an incredibly classic yet cheesy as all hell series back in the day. Of course, using puppets to, as I guess you can call them the Power Rangers of that day. They went around and, saved the world from evil, whether it be giant mechs or exploding volcano or who knows what.
Okay, now we have audio. Oh, and I got to take the overlay off. Go ahead.
Let's just play the intro because you know what? This is
classic.
It's just
full screen with it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pleasant memories with that, and of course they spoofed that for they spoofed all the Jerry Anderson titles for
Team America.
Team America.
America.
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, they're doing another one, and it's gonna be. This is where I get nervous. CG over live action sets. So instead of puppets, we're gonna get CG. Now,
okay, go for it.
This has the potential to be awesome if they keep the jerky feel of the puppets.
It's Weta. I mean, Weta is doing
yeah,
CG.
oh yeah, and that's the big thing. It's Weta that's doing it.
Here's the downside to all of this, aside from the possibility of sucking. We here in the States may not see it. Because
legally.
Yeah, well, legally, yes. You're not going to possibly not see this on stateside television.
Because?
Copyrights. I mean, the company that's actually creating the new Thunderbirds, located in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It's initially designed for it's going to be shown first in the UK.
Right, because that's where Jerry Anderson's based.
They also have plans to release it in Australia and a couple other countries. But nowhere on the website, in the press releases, anywhere, does it state that is it heading to the U.S. It might head to the U.S. later, maybe after it's
you don't think BBC America will grab it?
Again, licensing rights. They could easily. They have the best shot. I will say this.
Well, I was going to say, if they air, depending on who they air in the UK, I mean, your operations or your options for broadcast in the UK are either BBC or Sky. Those are the two big networks.
Well, it's actually, if I'm reading the article, it's actually ITV. It's not
right.
BBC.
Okay.
So
ITV
is another.
They already own the other Jerry Anderson titles.
Yeah.
I think they own. I think ITV owns Space 1999, Project UFO. Oh god, what was that weird one that was in the 80s? The Puppetoon one that was in the 80s.
I don't remember.
Supercar. I mean, they own all the Jerry Anderson stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. Night Star. Yes, you're right.
Captain Scarlet. Thank you.
Oh, Captain Scarlet. Yes.
I forgot about Captain Scarlet.
So again, this is almost in the same vein as the Star Wars article in the sense that we're not going to see this until 2015. Well, let me phrase that. The UK is going to legally see this in 2015. If we in the States happen to find a way, one way or the other, to watch it ourselves...
Oh, it'll be available.
Oh, it'll be, of course.
It's the legal part that's up in the air.
Second fan, yeah. Thunderbirds, back when Tech TV was Tech TV,
yes.
Before the G4 buyout, they actually
showed
the old episodes. It was,
I remember watching it going, oh, I'm so old, but this is so awesome.
Which kind of ties into what we were talking about last week with kind of ties in with Tech TV about the screensavers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm still waiting for Leo Laporte to give an announcement saying I now have the rights back for the screensavers, and I'm bringing it back to
put it on Twit.
Oh,
that would be epic. That would be epic.
But
okay,
let's talk about this other movie. It could be good, it could be bad.
It will be hilarious regardless, whatever it is.
Yes. It is called, this movie coming out called Absolutely Anything. It's going to be a CGI-heavy film, supposed to be a comedy. But
about a bunch of aliens who start granting human wishes just to see what happens. That's an interesting premise in and of itself. But that's not the funny part.
No.
Get to the good part.
The funny part is who they have starring in this. Let's just go right off with everybody who's still alive from the classic Monty Python days.
Except one.
Who's missing?
Eric.
Oh, Eric. Ah.
So you've got Terry Gilliam. Actually, I think Terry Jones is missing too. Yeah, you're missing Terry Jones.
Okay.
So you've got John Cleese. You've got Michael Palin.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Terry Gilliam. There was somebody else on that list. Hang on. John Cleese, Michael Palin.
I still find that Benedict Cumberbatch is actually going to have a role in this as well.
Yeah, I'm sure Eric Idle will get dragged into it at some point.
Eventually.
And Terry Jones is directing. So it's Cleese, Gilliam, Michael Palin, Terry Jones directing.
And you get all this together, and then who else do you throw into this batch? Robin Williams, who's going to voice a dog.
Yeah. I hope they let Robin Williams off his leash. They really just need to do what they used to do in Mork and Mindy.
I still want to find... it has to be available out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When Robin Williams was voicing the genie in the original
the
Aladdin,
reels?
I want to find the stuff they definitely could not use in the movie.
You know it's buried in a Disney archive somewhere.
It has to be found
because I remember him saying in an interview they just let him go off and he went blue, so obviously they couldn't use the blue stuff, which is funny because he's a blue guy, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
He had the entire production. I mean, animators were walking in to watch this, and they just fell out.
I'm still hoping that the fact that even you have all these great comedians put back together, even though they're not essentially writing the script.
Yeah, it's not officially a Monty Python movie.
But in spirit, come on.
I say, you put all these people together, and what are you going to get?
The comedy is going to follow regardless if they're going to follow the script or not.
Totally.
Now, the animators, whoever they are around the world, probably in China, they'll probably have a ton of stuff, already designed and ready to go. But once you throw these guys in the recording studio, that could all go out the window.
That's true. But, CGI heavy, not CGI only.
True.
So there's going to be live action in there. But I think it'd be really funny if they threw some of the Terry, which one did the animation? Was it Jones or Gilliam?
I want to say Gilliam.
If they threw in Terry Gilliam's animations. Oh, I am God. Oh, forgive me this, forgive me that. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
We'll get some more info later on this year.
We're keeping an eye on this.
Filming's supposed to start in April, so we'll start getting set shots around that time. And
somebody's going to sneak something out.
The fact that Williams is going to be voicing the dog makes me wonder, are they going to do a CG dog? Are they going to just have Williams on set in an outfit? Because that could just lead to a ton.
Wait a minute, isn't there a Tobey Maguire title that has that?
Is there? I don't remember.
It's on, Hulu has it, but I think it's on Fox or FX. It's Tobey Maguire and a dog.
Oh, yeah.
No, not Tobey Maguire. Who played Frodo?
I'm drawing a freaking blank. I know who you're talking about. Oh.
Wilfred, yes, that's the show.
I've only seen commercials for it. I have yet to watch an episode of it.
Elijah Wood, thank you. Yeah.
Imagine Robin Williams in that kind of dog outfit.
The phrase "death to Smoochie" comes to mind.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
That was so underrated. So very underrated. It was.
And if you guys haven't seen it yet, find it online. Watch it.
It's definitely worth it. And now one of my favorites.
Yes. Let's switch gears to manga real quick. Let's talk about...
Guess what's getting continued?
High School of the Dead. Now, you told me before there were some issues with the manga continuing in the first place, right?
Yeah. And I'm maybe remembering this incorrectly, but when I spoke with the folks who did the anime, they were telling me that one of the reasons they didn't go on more was that there was a disagreement between the writer and the artist.
Okay.
So that apparently has been patched up.
Okay.
And they're continuing.
Well, because in lieu of the issue that they were having between the two, they were re-releasing the manga, all 6 volumes.
But they were coloring
in full color.
Which...
I was going to say, you should have a couple of them.
Yeah, I have all of them. I went out of my way to get them. They're here somewhere.
Okay, he has them. Now, the 5th and 6th volumes of the colorized version were just recently released, and of course they had the wraparound cover stating that the manga will resume. How awesome is that? Now, that leads me to one thing. The anime was an interesting lesson in physics.
The jiggle physics?
In jiggle physics, yeah. We can leave it
well,
at
they
that.
actually said in their panel at Expo, you know, their whole point was they wanted 50% action, 50% boobies.
Well, I got
guess what we got.
Yeah, I got that same response when I interviewed them at AX that year, which was fun. I remember sitting there talking to them and saying, "Okay, you have this manga, and of course you have this anime, full of violence, you know, overtly sexual themes." Tons of zombies.
But no actual sex.
No actual sex. Damn close, but no actual sex. You put all this together. How were you expecting the response in the States? And their response was, we had no idea what was going to happen. They are swarmed like rock stars.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. That's going on, or continuing. I can't wait.
And the fact they're calling it High School of Dead Apocalypse makes me wonder: are they gonna like drop the bomb or something? Or
well, the bomb already went off.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
Because they fired off a nuke.
Oh, you're right.
They took out all but the one, which EMP'd everything.
You're right. It's been a while since I've either read the manga or watched the series, so we'll find out what happens.
I have the Blu-rays. We can fix that.
Oh, I might have to borrow those, yeah. All right. Let's talk about... Well, we talked about Valve a little bit a while ago.
We talked about...
Kind of a little bit about J.J. Abrams with the Star Wars bit.
Let's meld them together.
This past week was the DICE Summit. It's a really cool meetup of, like, basically... who's who in the video game industry. They put on talks. It's kind of like the Game Developers Conference, a little more heavy on the talk side. And like previous years, they would record the keynote speeches and post them online. Well, this year's opening keynote was between Gabe Newell of Valve and J.J. Abrams of every geek movie. Well, starting from now on, every geek movie that anybody wants to watch. They started talking about the similarities between games and movies, the whole interaction experiences you can't get from one, but you can get from the other. And they came out and started talking about storytelling and how they can start merging the two. J.J. Abrams states that he has a great idea for a game that he wants to work with Valve. He's going to work with Valve on. And Newell makes the announcement that he's found a way to work with JJ to create a Portal or a Half-Life movie. Now,
as long as it doesn't have the word, if it has the word 3 or the number 3 anywhere in the title, we'll never see it.
If they start off with Half-Life 3, that's the first movie.
It's over. Not going to happen.
So you already
Peter Pan game from Valve.
You get JJ, who's already
redefined
the Star Trek movie franchise. He's now going to supposedly redefine the Star Wars franchise. He's already he now has a firm grasp on the Geeks sci-fi movie picks. He now doesn't have to pick sides. He owns all the sides.
Yeah, he's got... Well, yeah, really.
And now he's going to jump into video games, not only help create a new game, but then bring either a Half-Life or a Portal movie to the big screen.
I'm waiting for the Abrams twist. I mean, but at the same time, I don't want him to... He cranks out so much good stuff something's going to fail somewhere, and I don't want it to be Star Wars. I don't want it to be Trek, and I don't want it to be a Half-Life.
The only way I could see this could possibly work out is if these movies don't get released until like 2018, 2019.
Why? They've got the Valve movie engine now.
That's true. JJ, with that engine, hey, Blizzard, take a note of this.
Yeah.
You already announced you're still working on the WoW movie. Do what Valve can do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. JJ has become, in my mind, this next generation Spielberg.
Yeah,
He's doing all of the films.
I'll grant you that, but he's not the only one.
No, he's not.
I mean,
he's just the one in the spotlight right now.
Yeah, well, him and Tarantino.
You can't go wrong with Tarantino. Could you imagine Tarantino doing like a Half-Life flick, or more importantly, Tarantino pulling a Star Wars?
I was going to say, I'm thinking Tarantino and Star Wars.
Tarantino pulling the Han Solo origin story.
No. Tarantino does a Mace Windu movie.
Tarantino.
Because it's Samuel Jackson.
That's true, and Sam Jackson, ever since the announcement that Disney's going to make new Star Wars movies, has been talking to anyone who would listen. Dude, I want to come back. You didn't see me die.
They didn't. You never saw him die. That could be a Banff.
Oh,
Mace Windu. Quentin Tarantino does a Star Wars flick, and it's all about Mace Windu. Say the dark side again. I dare you. Say it. Say the dark side again. Oh, the possibilities are endless.
It won't happen, sadly, but you know.
Have him start quoting some Jedi version of the "For I am my brother's keeper."
Did you ever read the Jedi scriptures? There's a page from the Bible.
Back in the days on Tython.
So, following this, massive announcement, and the entire geek community goes freaking crazy.
Yeah, nerdgasm collective.
Gabe Newell goes on stage for a second time later on during DICE for his own little keynote speech, and this is how he and Valve look at and work in the current game industry model. And he stated right off the bat he's not going to make any major announcements, but it was a very unique insight into how Valve works. It was about 36 minutes long. It's on YouTube officially. Go watch it. You'll thank me later.
It's controlled chaos.
Yeah. But he did make some announcements, well, in passing, about the upcoming Valve Steam box. When they finally made the announcement at CES, yes, we're working on a Steam box. Yes, we have some partners already working on designs. But you're not going to hear any official announcements until 2014. We thought that was the end of it. We also try to figure out that the... looking at stuff. That, okay, they're going to be a standalone box system. Is this going to compete directly against the PS4, the Xbox 720, or whatever the hell they're going to call it?
Which they're supposed to talk about later this month.
Yeah. And so, the way he described it, it's kind of unique. I give him props on this.
Mm-hmm.
First off, price. They're going to look for a starting price of $100 and gradually, as I quote, down to $0. So I'm like, okay.
Loss leader.
I mean, this is going to go down the... No, not even the Nintendo model.
This is going down the it's kind of going down the Microsoft model because, and the PlayStation too, because they lose money on every unit.
But they make money.
They make it in licensing.
Yeah. But the way they're getting around this, because the rumor's been, okay, this is going to be a quad-core system, a terabyte hard drive, a pretty beefy video card. No, the Steam Box is an in-home PC streaming system. So if you guys, you heard of OnLive, where they're streaming all the latest games you can play with just a controller. You don't need a big-ass computer. The problem with that design is all the heavy lifting's done, cloud side on the servers. Mm-hmm. And there's a decent amount of lag. I mean, they say, oh, it's not much. I tried it. There's a decent amount of lag. Especially if you're trying to play a first-person shooter. Not going to happen. Mm-hmm. But the way they work around with this is that if you have a decent PC, like we do, this will utilize that PC, that processing power, for all the game graphics and everything on that, and then stream that in your home network to your TV. And then you can use a number of input devices, which they're claiming they're working on something brand new. So,
thing is, you better have gigabit if you're going to do it. If you don't have gigabit Ethernet in your house, you don't want to do this over Wi-Fi. I mean, you probably could because the new Wi-Fi is supposed to be able to handle gigabit, but
again, new technology.
Yeah, you want wired gigabit for something like this, or better yet, if you can. I'll do it. You'll do it. Not many others will. Run fiber through your house.
Oh, hell yeah, I will once I get the money.
You need, I mean, for that level of graphics quality, you need the bandwidth. And that's going to, and it's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy.
And I look at their idea behind this because if they can get, I mean, obviously the system itself will need to be able to handle some base Steam games, Half-Life 2, Portal, and whatnot, on its own. Because not everyone who's going to pick up a Steam box is going to have a high-end PC.
No.
Their idea behind it is that instead of dealing with the current structure of you have one console and then you have to wait 5 to 10 years for another console for a boost in graphics, they'll basically think, okay, if you can slowly realize that you can actually build up your PC as time goes on, you will spend more time investing in that. It's not to mention, this whole thing runs on Steam.
Well, it's also basically effectively node-based rendering.
Yeah.
It's a render farm.
It is.
So if you have multiple machines, all with decent graphics or decent power, there's nothing that says people like you, me, Carl, won't build stacks of machines with with NVIDIAs and Quadras and stuff in there just going and render farm that crap.
The way I see it is Steam is already a success, I would say. Well, and it keeps on growing.
It's kind of like the bar others are measured by.
Yeah. This is just basically an expansion upon that to a selection of gamers they really haven't tried to tap in yet. They started to earlier in 2012 with big picture mode for Steam, which I tried and it's fantastic.
Well, they also tried it a little bit with Portal on the PS3.
Sure.
Because it installed sort of a Steam engine on the PS3,
right.
Which the only way you can get it is if you buy Portal, because I've tried every way to get it and I can't.
But of course, even if all of Valve's instincts about this and how they predict the future of gaming is going to go, Steambox tanks. If we were wrong, at least it'll be spectacularly entertaining as a failure. So we'll see what happens.
What was that one game system that was supposed to come out that had like these ungodly specs they were talking about? It wasn't the one that Tiger was putting out.
Oh, the Phantom.
The Phantom, yes.
I've never seen that thing at E3.
The vaporware.
I still have a shirt that has, I believe in Phantom. It has the logo on it. And essentially was a giant PC in a media center enclosure.
Yeah, it was vaporware.
I will say, though, the way they had the controller set up was actually quite nice.
Controller was
cool. It was wireless, had a keyboard on top. It was basically like a triangle shape. And underneath, you had a pad for your mouse. So in a small ability to hold on your lap, you can have your keyboard and mouse and still play. Would that still work in today's gaming? Probably not. Just for the sole fact you keep on moving around. If you get really pissed off, you're going to throw it across the room and hit your TV. And so
you can always do the StarCraft Connect version.
Oh. All right.
Blizzard and their April Fool jokes. I wonder what they're going to do this year.
Oh.
They'll do something funny.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Should we continue on video games, or?
Sure.
You want to talk about next-gen systems, or you want to talk about this thing you popped up on my laptop right now?
No, I just popped that up because I want to check it out later.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're already talking about video games. Let's continue on with the rumor mill about the PS4 and the Xbox, whatever they're going to call it. Of course, with every new console, there's always the rumor of, hey, we're going to not only block used games from being used on our systems, but we're also going to nix backwards compatibility in order to
force you into our model.
Exactly. And people are going to read that, and people blow up online. Oh my God, I'm never going to buy that. Happens every console. It's happened since the Dreamcast. Not since the Dreamcast. After the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part's BS. But all the other information that's coming out about the Xbox 720 and the PS4, it sounds plausible. Start with the 720, I should state.
Are they actually going to call it that?
We have no idea. We have no idea until their press conference right before E3, which we thought
Which means I think Sony's going to get the jump on them.
Oh, I already know Sony's going to get the drop on them.
Because they're later this month.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft made the announcement in January about the date. I think it was in April or May for their E3 press conference.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks before.
And then recently, Sony made the announcement, hey, we have a really big announcement to announce February 20th. Here's a video that's going to get you hyped up for it, and all it is a bunch of moving shapes, and at the end is the PlayStation logo. What the hell are you going to talk about? But some of the specs off the bat, the next Xbox is going to have an 8-core system. Now, granted, each core is only 1.6 gigahertz.
So that would be the Hexbox.
Yeah, the Hexbox. Oh, the things we can say. Oh, crap.
Yeah, it's going to be the Hexbox.
It's going to run DirectX 3D 11. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
An 800 megahertz graphics solution, that's fine. I think the key thing here is 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM. This is essentially a computer.
Well, yeah, but it's an 8-core system with 8 gigs of RAM. That means 1 gig per core, which is still double what they've got in the current one.
Yep.
Because the current ones are only 512, if I remember correctly. So that's an improvement.
Yep. They're going to obviously...
It'd be better if it was 8 gigs per core.
Oh, it'd be great. That won't happen, though, but
yeah,
that would drive the price up to $1,000.
Yeah, easily.
Obviously, Connect 2.0, whatever that's going to be. They're saying they're
Force
actually...
feedback.
This is going to be
Xbox 4. It'll be the triple Xbox.
I was going to say, you remember Res for the PlayStation 2, right?
Oh, yeah, the Vibro controller?
They had the Vibro controller, which, controller. Yeah.
People talked about it as a teledildonics device? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We'll run Windows 8. No.
Jaron Lanier was all about that. Yeah.
They're claiming they're going to probably drop the whole drive format war and actually go Blu-ray, because Sony basically won that battle versus...
well, HD is dead.
Yeah. And the thing is, I still have my HD DVD drive and about 15 movies for it. Including some that... I still have Sneakers on HD DVD still in shrink wrap. But I won't throw them away for the sole fact of nostalgia, plus also my drive on my PC can play DVD, Blu-ray, and HD DVD. So, there you go.
Oh, excuse me.
As I'm looking around this room, you have the gall to say that.
Yeah, you haven't seen my storeroom in my Amiga collection.
Exactly. Okay.
All
right. Yeah, so that's the Xbox 1460. Who knows what they're going to call it. They're rumored of the online always-on DRM. So no matter what you're playing, a single-player, online player, they're going to be... It has to have an internet connection. Left to be decided on that. I don't think it's going to happen. They can't. They really can't push that. Can they?
They can.
All right.
They can. I mean, there's some games now. Well, there used to be games that would, like, for the computer, they would only play off disk. You couldn't install them. People got around that with stuff like Magic Disc, but they've got games now that phone home already.
Oh yeah, I mean that's true. I mean,
and I'm not talking like MMOs. I'm talking, normally standalone games, but they phone home each time.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that hard to throw that on a game, or on a console rather.
I sincerely doubt the whole we're gonna ban used games on our systems. I don't think so.
They'll try it.
They'll try. They'll get bashed. The
way they get around it is if they do the no backwards compatibility thing. That's the way they get around it.
And the only way to try to compensate for that is to go the Steam side, and since that you throw everything online, you throw it at ridiculous prices, and you do a massive overhaul on your back-end support.
Yeah, you're expecting them to be smart.
I expect them to be Sony, throw money at the problem until it goes away.
Yeah, probably. Well, Sony's already doing that. I mean, you can get a lot of PS1 titles on PSN Network.
This is true.
With...
right now, there's that deal with for Final Fantasy 25th Anniversary. Almost all the Final Fantasy games from PS1 is available at half off right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you can do that, but it'll also play on your Vita and your PSP.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony's got the workaround.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you can get Tomb Raider 1 in all her blocky, polygonal, barely better than Minecraft goodness.
Yeah, true. It's also been rumored the system's going to have, of course, eight core system. I mean, technically, if you want to talk about the Cell processor they had in there, yeah, okay.
The Cell was 6-core, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cell was 6-core. So this is possibly a continuation of that, but 8 cores and more powerful, and probably also 8 gigs of RAM.
I think Sony's going to put more RAM.
Here's the thing that
they're going to try find some way to beat it.
Here's the thing they're going to use for that though,
and
they're going to fail miserably. Once again, they're going to redesign the controller. Do you remember E3 when they first announced the PS3? Yeah. I have pictures of going, to E3, and they had the system in a case that was revolving, couldn't get into it.
Right.
Back then, it had 3 gigabit ports, 2 HDMI ports outputs, 2 optical outputs. I mean, it was a beast. And then it had this.
It was a sexy beast.
It was, and it $5.99. Yeah. And of course, obviously, when it came out, it didn't have all of that. Understandably so. But the most newsworthy part of all that was actually the famously quoted Batarang controller. Because the thing looked horrid.
Well, yeah, but Logitech released one that looked like that.
Yeah. And what were the sales on that? Oh, yeah, none.
No, not none. A couple people bought them.
You didn't.
No, I didn't. I knew someone who bought one, and I borrowed it for a while, and it actually wasn't that bad. The only problem I had with it, I mean, the whole Batarang shape, because the controls were the same physically. Mm-hmm. All the buttons were in the right spot. You had the joysticks and all that other fun crap. There was a whole roundy shape. The only problem I had with it was, especially how when you get intense in a game and you're concentrating and you squeeze, you're squeezing the controller tight, you sweat it all, boom, shoots out of your hand.
Gotcha. Okay.
There was no traction.
Which hence led to the same thing with the Wiimote when the Wii came out. Hey, look, why is my Wiimote stuck in the middle of my TV?
Yeah, exactly.
Joanna in the chat states, actually I heard about this. Square Enix, or I call them Squeenix, has a new RPG on its way out, something with Middle Eastern culture, almost like Parasite Eve.
Ooh.
I wonder if they're using that new engine that they were showcasing.
I wonder if it's going to be the Parasite Eve sequel.
Damn well better be.
That'd be awesome.
I'm tired of all the Parasite Eve
the Aya Brea stories?
Yeah, all of them were launched on PSP, and I'm like, I don't have a PSP anymore. But, oh well.
They're cheap. Get a Vita.
But I need to get a Vita. I need to get a job first.
No, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's that.
I don't have a Vita either, so.
But I was talking about they're going to redesign the controller for the PS4. They're saying essentially the same design, a little wider, but in the area where you normally have like the PlayStation logo, is going to be a touch screen or a touchpad, kind of like the back end of the PS Vita.
So it's going to be like a glide point?
We don't know. There's going to be a small touchpad in place of the existing Select, Start, and PlayStation buttons.
Okay, then that's going to have to be either a really tiny glide point, or they're going to have to make the controller bigger, a lot bigger.
Like the Wii U, which is like that big. Now,
no, I don't think they'll go that big.
I will say this, though, on a side note. My friend Ruben actually has the Wii U, and I've played it with the gamepad. As big as that is, it's incredibly light. The touchscreen is responsive, and it's incredibly comfortable. It actually is.
Okay.
So I was like really surprised by that.
So it's like we're talking Galaxy Tab size, or
about that,
or iPad size.
I would say Galaxy Tab size.
Okay.
Like the Nexus 7 style. That size, yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't say Nexus 7 and without me thinking Nexus 6, and they're only going to last 5 years. Then they'll die.
Just in time for the Nexus 14. But the reason why we're bringing up the whole thing with Sony is that they made the announcement that they had that press conference set for the 20th of this month.
Do you want to run the video?
There's nothing to do with it. It's just shapes running around and the PlayStation logo at the end.
Okay.
Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
Nothing on it, so we shall see what happens with that. Okay. What else should we talk about, Michael?
Given the time, I think we should probably start wrapping up.
Okay. As always, What have you been watching, Michael?
What have I been watching? Well, I started getting caught up on Pet Girl Sakura So finally.
Until I stepped in.
Until you stepped in. And you
I'm an enabler. I got hooked on not one, but 2 new series.
Yeah, he brought up 2 new series that I'm interested in. I don't remember what they're called, though. What's the one with the bunny girl?
Oh, you're going to make me draw a blank.
Yeah, I'm going to make you look that shit up.
All right.
So there was that one. Problem Children of something or other.
Oh, Problem Children come from another world, don't they?
Yeah. So that's actually kind of fun. I'm enjoying that one a little bit. And then what was the other one that you showed me that I was the smarmy one that I was the smarmy one is Sakura So. What's the other one that you were showing me? I don't remember what it's called.
Well, the one that we're talking about, we were watching with Nikki, or Blast of Tempest.
Yeah, Blast of Tempest. Oh wow, that's actually really good, really dark, well, at least potentially dark, but yeah, I want to see where they go with it. I'm really liking the story. The writing's really good so far.
Sega fan in the chat, you saw movie 43? Oh, man.
Everyone I've talked to has said it's got some funny bits, but it's lame out otherwise.
All the reviews...
It's trying to be Kentucky Fried Movie and failing.
Exactly.
I still want to see it.
It doesn't help the fact that some of the actual scenes were filmed 3 years ago when the actors had time.
Well, the thing is, I'll see it. I just won't see it in theater. Because there are scenes that are in that trailer that I just gotta see.
Yeah. Seven Fugu in the chat. Okay. You were surprised that I didn't talk about the My Little Pony fighting game being canceled.
C&D?
I will talk about that on Anna Break on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Same channel. Because I have a rant for you, but this is neither the time nor the place for that. Plus, also, he's a furry, I'm a brony, so.
As to what I've been watching, shifting over to what I've been reading, Nikki found and brought home the first trade for Justice League New 52, which is Justice League Origin. Which, excuse me, the first, I want to say, the first 80 to 90% of it is a lead back in time to when Justice League first got together in the new 52 universe. And so you got Batman being himself, and Green Lantern's a jackass. He's little Mr. Ego Fest. Mm-hmm. And there's one point where Batman starts talking. He starts talking to Batman, and Batman's like, "Listen, Jordan." And he's like, "How the hell did you know my name was Jordan?" He's like, "I do my research." "Well, I can take care of everything. I don't need Superman. I can handle Superman." And he's like, "Sure you can, kid." And so they end up having to go to Metropolis to deal with this thing, because it turns out Darkseid's getting involved. And there's one point where he's talking to Flash on the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here with Batman, da-da-da." Flash is like, "Batman's real?" He's like, "Yeah, he's real, and he's a total tool." Hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. If you get a chance, and if you're into Justice League at all, this makes me want to read the series. It's Justice League Volume 1 Origin. You can pick it up at your comic book dealer. It's completely worth it, and it's a great read. I mean, you read it. What do you think?
Let's put it this way. Less than a year ago, I was kind of out of the whole comic thing. I was like, I'm just focused on manga and anime, and then starting reading more comics because of you guys, and thankfully, it's gotten a lot better. And this, I read in one sitting. I was just hooked the entire time. I couldn't put it down. Oh, God.
There are some seriously funny parts in this.
Just the dialogue between the heroes going, "You're real? You're real." Who's Bruce Wayne?
Yeah. Bruce Wayne. Batman reveals himself to Hal Jordan as being Bruce Wayne at one point, and he's like, "Who the hell's Bruce Wayne?" I just have this vision in my head going, "Who the fuck do you think I am?" I just have him thinking that.
Oh, man. Yeah. Highly recommended.
Yes.
You guys need to pick that up and read that.
Another one that was Death of the Family rather is still going. Let's see. There was something else I read recently, but I can't remember it.
Read the new Hawkeye.
I haven't read it yet. I've heard about it.
Okay,
I've heard it's
I'll
good.
talk about that next. Go ahead.
I think that's it.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Simpsons on the iPad.
Yep. Gotcha.
Damn you, Leo Lippor.
I tried to get you into that weeks before, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of Simpsons," and then Leo goes, "Ooh, Simpsons."
Yeah, well, no, Leo was talking about the game and actually showed it, and I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. So, what about you, Jay?
Well, aside from down here and playing some WoW and also playing Halo 4, I've been putting off playing Halo 4 because I was waiting for the price to go down. And then he finally sits me down with the controller, and I play the first 2 levels, and I go, "Okay, eBay, bye."
Now I'm an enabler.
There goes that.
Yeah, but you got it for a real good price on eBay.
I did. I got it for like $35 with shipping. So
$37.51.
yeah, could be great. Should be in my house in a couple days. It'd be great.
And what are you going to do when you get it?
Go online to, well, 1, beat it, and then 2, get you on
We'll go online and multi-co-op it.
I also brought, season 2 of K-On! So we can watch a little bit, because you haven't seen season 2, right?
No, I haven't seen season. I've only seen season 1.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go with that.
Oh wait, these are both season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was season 1 and season 2.
No.
Okay, I'm going to borrow these.
Yeah, sure. And of course, when we decided to go to our favorite comic shop, they had some epic magazines. And those of you who've been following me on Facebook and Twitter, I recently posted that I've been reading my back issues of New Type USA back when they were around, and I was getting a little bit nostalgic. Well, they had the December 2012 issue of New Type, and I picked that up in a heartbeat, which had a really, really cool, yeah, that's a
Bastard.
folder for, from Sword Art Online. So, hey.
There you go.
Also came with one from Magi. So if anybody actually likes Magi, it's okay. I don't watch it all the time. If you guys actually want this folder, hit me up on a tweet, and I might just send it off to you. Of course,
Sword Art Online. If you give that away, I'm going to hurt you.
Oh no, I'm keeping the Sword Art Online. Oh, you
give it to anybody but me, and I'm going to hurt you.
And then, of course, we had to pick up the latest issue of Nagami magazine, and
we instantly took it apart and started scanning.
Oh yeah, it's already taken apart just for the sole fact we can scan all the epic posters.
Nikki's got an A3 scanner, so I can scan the big posters.
Oh yeah, amazing stuff in here, and there's actually surprisingly like a Nanoha poster in here as well. So I was like,
yeah,
okay.
There was a Nanoha. There was also that.
What it should have. There's
cinema insert for Madoka.
Yep, for the movies.
So. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it talks about the movie, and this is what they released in the theaters when you went to see it in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So
for those of you who were, we were talking before in pre-show, if you had, trying to find a place that you can give subscription to these magazines, because they actually don't have the subscriptions available for citizens of the United States. 2 options. One, you can go to jlist.com. They have them at decent prices, I would state. You can probably get them cheaper elsewhere if you looked hard. The other way option is to go to your local comic shop and see if they'll actually order it for you. Now, granted,
don't go to Kinokuniya.
Yeah,
they jack the prices.
They do. Granted, you are going to pay somewhere around $12 to $16 per issue, because you got to think these are about $10 to $12 already in Japan, and then you have to add shipping costs on top of that. But if you are a fan of it, I highly recommend pick up a subscription to them. But other than that, I've just been chilling here this weekend, hanging out with Michael and Nikki, and I will probably go home probably late tonight after watching some K-On! Or something. So. Someone put in the chat asks, any estimate on how much a shipping a magazine would be? By itself, I would say about $5 to $8. That's my personal guess on that. Because a typical figure, standard size 1/6 scale to ship from, say, Ami, usually runs around $15 to $20 for me. So.
Yeah, so you're honestly better off ordering it from a comic shop, comic distributor, because of the fact that you won't have to pay the insane EMS shipping prices.
Because some distributors stateside has a relatively decent sized shipment of them, and you can probably get them for a better price there.
Yeah.
Japan Junkie has $2,000 saved for AX. You're going to go through all of that especially if I find you, and then we'll go through the exhibit hall. All right. How should we wrap this up? Anything else to add, or?
Not that I can think of. Oh wait, I got a new blue. I got the blue Dalek.
More Daleks.
Got the blue one now. I almost have the complete set. Other than that, no, I'm good. And since we're doing it for my house, we don't have the end sequence to run.
That's fine. We'll just close out as normal.
So we're just going to close out as normal.
Yeah. As always, you can catch us every single Sunday at 5 p.m. right here at FromAnother'sBasement.com. And you can catch my anime-based news show, which is every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at anabreak.com. And, of course, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. You can see right below me, OtakuLife Jason.
There's mine. Not that I use it much. And we are getting closer. I know you've heard this a lot, but we're actually getting closer on the review show. And I think we decided we are going to do View from the Digital Pier. That's what it's going to be called. We're debating on format. So, and we're also contemplating doing our own version of MST3K. But we don't know for sure if we're going to do that yet.
So we'll keep you guys posted on it. So, but I think that's going to be about it for this episode. So for From Another's Basement, I'm Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. And scene.